just the handicaps. So this first part, I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking while I'm racing to get stuff set up. It's actually not that much of a race, but still want to make sure I'm not making big screw-ups early on. There we go. Alright, I'm going to... I usually like to set up over one of these craters, but I'm not seeing one real close. I'll go all the way to this one. That's really not how I have it set up, though. That stuff's not that far away. I just want to be overhanging the whole facing north. So then all my solar stuff can kind of go in the south direction. Tried to do this several times on recording and it didn't go. Started this playthrough several times as well. Got to about day, I don't know, 30 or so. Or not 30, I don't. Did try it with the original start conditions as well. It was a little bit different though. Used the space design a couple times. I actually came up with it on a Vulcan because that's what I usually play, and it's what I call my safe room base. It's this back 2x3 section there is what I call the safe room. That's going to be the only place it's going to be with the atmosphere, and it's going to be an airlock in there. The batteries will be stored in one of those cubes, so that won't actually be pressurized. So there's going to be realistically only four cubes of air to pressurize in here. I'm using walls throughout here because it will heat up. It is a fairly hot environment here, and that will, you know, cook things pretty well. And that's the battery room right there. And I hate how the iron walls have, or iron windows have the lines on it going one way or the other. Actually, since I left that stuff so far away, I'm going to go pick it up. Like I said, I'm not in too much of a time crunch here. I just do want to pick up this stuff before I forget where it's at. I think it's just going to take a couple trips to go get everything. but I think it'll be okay in the end because that's going to be a good spot for a base. And yeah, you'll notice I do not have a jetpack. That's one of the changes I did because I like to play without a jetpack. I did throw 2 ladders in there. That was just a decision to speed up this first day here because I'm going to set up a solar panel. This one goes into this airlocked area. The yellow one can stay outside. But yeah, I just like to play without the jetpack, and so the ladders are only four iron a piece, 4 iron total for them, so it's not a big deal. I mean, the first mining trip out, pop some in the arc welder, and you're done. But with all the expensive stuff I removed from the kit, I figured I can have that little luxury. I'll probably wait until a little bit later on when I'm going through the crates to talk about what I did end up removing from the kits, what the normal loadout has, what my loadout has. Just gonna set that up right so I don't lose it. I kind of had to look around until I saw that part of the lander. As far as mods go, I have basically some quality of life ones, and then I do have the actual solar irradiance on, which kind of puts the solar stuff back to what it used to be before they basically capped everything at 500 watts max. This one has a very high, slightly higher than Vulcan actually. I think Vulcan has like 1.5 Earth, and this one I assume is 2.0 Earth, or it's something like that. So it's pretty high for solar. So it kind of makes things a little bit easier for me because I'm not even going to bother with doing solar tracking. I'll just be using basic solar panels, which is part of why it's important to have my base situated the way I'm putting it here, with that safe room on the north side of it, because those frames are going to be where the solar panels are located. They can be on walls, but I'm just choosing to put those where I'm putting them. Don't really need the walls up yet because I'm not going to have enough to do it, but it's more to keep keep me from dropping stuff outside. Back in here. Yeah, so part of the thing I did was in that new setup, you have these packages so they can give you way more stuff to put into your starting crates. Okay, good. At least they're both matching. But I don't like starting out with a whole lot of stuff. I like there to be a bit of a challenge to get everything going. Of course, with this one, I've done the start. I don't really want to admit how many times. Because I was just having all kinds of problems getting recording working. And I did want to record this one just because I, I couldn't find anything uh, about this world. It's one of the few worlds that actually work currently without too much changes. I did make some changes to it originally because I was on beta branch, and all the starting condition changes were coming, so it just made sense to go ahead and plan to have to make those changes there. I'm back on the normal branch because that stuff actually went live early this morning. They're a New Zealand based company, so I'm in central US, so it's their workday is my sleep time, more or less. And actually, this is one change I'm going to make because I have actually been I'm going to put it up here for now, but I'm going to move this one because that's something I've been doing. Every run is have those two APCs, and I'll run a transformer here for this airlock. But I really want to. I think every run I've been locked out of here at one point or another. I've just had to spend the night out mining. So until I get the big panel set up, or at least more than the one, then I'm going to be strapped for power at night. Luckily, night's not very long, so the sun will come up in that direction, kind of go over here and go over in that direction. So this will get first light in the morning. I'm going to set this one up here. The next one I set up is going to face this way. Then the last one will set up. Oh, no, I'll probably set this one up this way too because it will catch the night as well. And then back here, I'll set those ones just facing straight up. They'll catch the midday. But being as I've had so much trouble with the overnight here at the beginning, this is going to get me as much as I can right first thing in the morning. So if I do get locked out, I'll be able to, which I may not even have this all airlocked in today's video. But eventually that'll be an airlock, and I'll have that automatic, so that locks you out if you don't have power. Alright, let's see. Put the weak one in here, because all that will ever do is run these two, which will be down to one pretty quick. So, yeah. See, I am done with frames. Haven't used plastic yet. Keep that on there, keep that. Just back on that thing of not having stuff fall out. And those are facing opposite directions. It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna leave it like that. Now, how many times will it take me to get it right? There. Just one. It's a lucky day. Take some of this stuff that's going to go straight to the airlock area, because I will not be using it out here. Yeah. Gotta flip it on. stuck in the wall. Okay, so basically what the kit is here is the original mod had all the old style food crate that had all the bottles of water, all the cans of soup that last year for a week apiece. This one I went with 2 cereal bar boxes. The Lander did have the same, and then I had 2 water. So I got a total of 13 water balls and what was that? 19. Oh no, because didn't switch this out. So yeah, I've got 18 cereal bars and the tomato soup. So I've got food for a while. The trick to this is that food is actually going to be, or farming is going to be like the most important thing. So because there's no coal, so I have to farm to get coal. I think this is the right spot. If it's not, that's going to stink because I kind of have a pretty fixed location where everything has to go to fit in this very confined area. You will see though. These eggs I'm gonna set out on the floor so that they destroy themselves. That gives me 2 biomass for each egg. If I just let them decay in there, then I'm only going to get a total of 6. So it helps out. And this early on, it's going to be anything I can do to get more biomass. It's going to work out in my favor. So yeah. There's that kid I was looking for. That's going to go on. Yeah, I mess around in here long enough that I am in a vacuum. Go ahead and pop this.
Airtag critical.
Then always one of the most dangerous things is unleashing pressure from this early on in the game, because if something goes wrong, then you've lost all that oxygen. And here the only way to get oxygen is for plants to convert the CO2 that you get from smelting, or to smelt gold and get oxygen that way and filter everything down, cool everything down. But just makes it fun. Okay, I'm fed.
Low pressure. Oxygen low.
Water. Okay, let's get on with it. Now I've got enough space, I can just do that. Get rid of this crate. And do the actually. That's basically the standard production package they have now. It just has the stuff to make your auto lathe and your art furnace. It's very convenient, even though 2 iron sheets and 2 plastic sheets, the cable, it isn't anything when they give you a whole 50 stack of all of those. So yeah, there's no shortage of stuff, so it's just a convenience thing. I mean, yeah, I only have 2 iron sheets right now, but I didn't have to do all these half loads here. I've just done this enough times that I know what I know what I you know, I know what I could spend. Let's go ahead and do some mining. We can see everything. The trick that I like to do on this one, because I didn't go over that in that kit, but it does come with an Amy in the default loadout. I've never used one before, but Bing's, that's not digging, that's great. Bing's, basically all the gases you get are going to have to come from a trader, which you won't be able to get until you have lots of steel, or you have to smelt them. So yeah, smelting them Amy returns ore that hasn't been degassed, so you can still get your gases from it. You smelt them and filter it out. If you have a deep ore miner, those don't have gases in them, so that's automatically no. That's usually my go-to, is just to set up a deep miner. You know, because I said Vulcan's my usual, so yeah, that's like your thing there, because I can go mining there. It just gets tedious with having to go at night and stuff, and then later on you want to be collecting atmosphere at night and doing some other stuff you need to be kind of around at night for. So anyway, yeah, I'm used to using the deep miner. I haven't used Amy, so we'll see how that goes if I get around to setting it up. But anyway, because Amy's involved, I want to keep my mining to kind of these pits, because Amy's not going to do the mining in here. When it comes in here, it's going to get stuck. I'll have to go find it. So yeah, I'm going to try to leave the surface stuff as much as I can, and then just mine down here where it would be a no-go for that we're about to go. It's actually enough gold for now. I need to get iron. They're about to be down here yet. Which is crazy, because it's so quick and plentiful. That's all copper and gold. There we go. There's it's never just one piece of iron. Yeah, one thing I wasn't expecting the first time I tried this on the default settings was there's no mention of there not being holding funds. So that was all part of my game plan, because I looked at the specs and I was like, okay, you know, I'll build up my game plan and I'll fire my furnace with coal, because it releases volatiles, but there's none on this planet. So when I get around to actually doing the real furnace, I'm going to have to do, there's a couple things I can do. I've tried a couple things, but biomass releases volatile, so that's going to be my key thing. I'm just going to save up so I have a big load of steel to do, and then I'll see what it'll do with, you know, putting some silver in there first, and then getting the NOS off of that, and then doing the biomass to light that up. I know I said I wasn't going to do up here, but that's too tempting. Just widen this a bit more. I was hoping to have like several stacks of iron here. It's two if I can fill up this third stack. It fills up quick once you get it. There we go. That's enough iron, but I'm forgot I set up the solar. I was like, damn, I forgot to set it up, but I did set it up. So we're good, we're good. Gravity's pretty low here. I think 6 will be all I'll need to start with. Guess I am doing the old stacky there. Stacking the printers. It's a little bit of a cheese, but you know, I don't see it as that big of an issue because there's not really a reason to prevent them from sitting on top of each other. Maybe when I get a little bit further on and do some stuff, it'll get questionable, but batteries around. Impatient now. Keep an eye on that because I don't think it's going to last that whole sprint there. But I've got tricks I can do to power through the night like that. Ooh, did I get any silica? I did. I'm gonna want a couple lights because it's silly to use the it's silly to be using the headlamp when you're having power problems. We go in there. Yeah, the light's gonna be right over here. I'm going to be sealing that up very soon, but we'll be ready for when I do. That frame there is to stack the printers. It has to be supported by a frame, which includes being inside of a frame. It's an old trick that people have been doing in this game for a long time. And yes, it is completely coincidence that I saved exactly 2 sheets of iron for there. I think every other time I've had to pull it out of, you know, some frame somewhere, just because I didn't realize I had used it up. But yeah, works out. Usually, this isn't something that a lot of people would do. Is the very first thing they're printing on their, you know, what they're racing to get to. But that's a portables connector. I'm going to do, let's go with 4 liquid pipes. And I've got plenty of iron there, so hoping to get 3 of those out. I know I can do 4 with what's in there, but I don't want 4 yet. So that means having another pipe. Yeah, it's gonna get 2 silicone for 2 lights. I didn't wait for that to finish. And if you're wondering if I'm going to mess up on this airlock, possibly, very possibly, very probable. I'll bring that to any more. Yeah, it'll just cost me 1 more cable. I know it's an insulated take and it doesn't matter if it's sticking through the wall, but it looks cheesy. Okay, so that's ready to go. Let's get this up to about 40. Yeah, 45. And pop this for a little bit extra mix in there. Yeah. not too worried about seeds. These are gonna, in this condition, dark, 48 kPa, 18 degrees. That's gonna thrive there, and then I'm gonna have my first batch of having, go ahead and going all out with 3 of them. That's gonna give me 9 biomass when that's grown in like, 50 minutes or whatever it is. That's 2 game days, so it is what it is, but setting these out here, I know it's way too cold for these things to actually hatch, but they're not supposed to hatch. They're supposed to destroy without becoming decayed food. Oh my gosh, I just want it to close. Pick up. There we go. Okay, that's all set. Let's go ahead and pop this off while we're in here. That update that just complains at you if you get, suit sweaty. This is all you have to do to prevent that. I don't even open my visor anymore. I'll just take off my whole helmet and go ahead and pull the suit off at the same time, and that gives me, enough to be clean. I've never needed a shower, and I don't think, if I just do that, every time I get a drink, I'd be completely fine without it. I didn't fill up on water though, did I? I do like that new drinking fountain. However, it's not going to happen in this. I'm just going to do a water bottle filler right there. It just, room is too much of a premium in here. So go without it. Yeah, let's charge it up nicely now. I'm gonna keep with those small batteries while I'm, just hanging around out here. Oh no, I wanted to do... Should have got that started before I went in there, but... I'm gonna get the printer going. Oh, the electric printer. These 2 gold, actually, I think might need it in there next.